This video is made possible by Shopify. McDonald's is the most successful restaurant on the planet, by a long shot. It's got the highest revenue, it's the most recognizable brand. There are over 40,000 restaurants worldwide, and the company plans to expand even more. You can eat fries under the northern lights, cool off with a McFlurry in the Negev desert, or grab a Big Mac on Guantanamo Bay. Even just a few steps from the Vatican, there's a McDonald's, though some of the cardinals find it perverse. McDonald's is everywhere. Or at least, almost everywhere. What happened to McDonald's in Africa? Why are the Golden M's so rare across a continent that's home to almost 1/5 of the world's population? It's not like American fast food hasn't found its way into Africa. KFC is here, Pizza Hut is here, even Burger King made it. So why didn't McDonald's? This is the story of a company built on rigid standardization, of global ambition colliding with local realities, of politics and corrupt dictator families, of frustrated customers waiting for fries, and the search for the perfect potato.
And I make a video for you guys to see how it looks like.
McDonald's got off to a promising start in Africa. In 1992, it opened its first location in Morocco. By then, the so-called burger wars were basically over, an intense race for market share in the $48 billion burger industry. A war waged mostly in competitive, aggressive advertising campaigns. The key players were McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. But by the time that fight went global, one of the three had clearly pulled ahead. During the mid-90s, McDonald's was operating in 100 countries. It claimed to open a restaurant somewhere in the world every 3 hours. Fast food had become one of the purest symbols of globalization, with McDonald's leading the way. And Africa was the next logical step in the race for global dominance. So the Big M eventually came to Morocco too. At the time, a full meal at McDonald's cost about 50 dirham or $6.25. The minimum wage in Morocco was about 75 cents per hour, but people showed up anyway. McDonald's was something Moroccans only knew from movies. It was exciting to finally get a taste. The location added to it. You could sit just steps away from the beach. Today, there are many more in Morocco. One of them is here in Marrakesh. We asked Ismail to check it out for us.
Hello guys, my name is Ismail. I'm from Morocco, exactly Marrakesh, and today we come here at McDonald's to see how it looks like. McDonald's in Morocco not just place for eating in fast food, but also for spend time with family. Sometimes you find people come here and study in here. Let's go now inside to see how it looks like. So, how you can see, McDonald's should have the typical design. And she is very, very clean. For the menu also is 100% halal.
McDonald's adapted its menu to Moroccan customs, serving exclusively halal meat and a traditional post-fast menu during Ramadan. McDonald's success is often credited to this exact balance: standardized products adapted to local tastes. A strategy known as glocalization. The chain was also celebrated as a job creator, particularly for young people at a time when youth unemployment was very high. Beyond just the restaurants, McDonald's created jobs across the supply chain. So, after finding success in Morocco, McDonald's branched out to other African countries. In the mid-1990s, South Africa was undergoing a historic transition. Not long before, the apartheid laws had been abolished and the country was starting fresh. McDonald's seized the moment and opened its first restaurant in Johannesburg in 1995. It was the first McDonald's south of the Sahara. But the real breakthrough came in 2011 when McDonald's sold its South African franchise rights to Cyril Ramaphosa, a former businessman and future president of the country. He scaled the business significantly. By 2025, the country had over 400 McDonald's restaurants. Chances are you have the same entrepreneurial instinct as Cyril Ramaphosa. And if you've ever thought about turning your idea into a business, Shopify can help you. With Shopify, you can build and run your entire business. We've been using it ourselves since 2018 for our sustainable clothing project. Back then, we started with nothing but an idea. With Shopify, we were able to create a professional online store, reach customers around the world, and manage everything from one dashboard. Shopify also gives you access to more than 8,000 apps. With them, you can customize your store however you like. You can add loyalty programs, improve shipping, or streamline your workflow. We really finessed our store that way. But especially if you're just starting out, Shopify comes with a helpful sidekick. It's an AI-powered assistant that has access to all your store data and can help you with all kinds of tasks, from writing product descriptions, creating marketing campaigns, to troubleshooting technical issues and analyzing your store's performance. So if you've been waiting for the right moment to start your own business, this could be it. Visit shopify.com/Fern or scan this QR code to try Shopify for free today. McDonald's also managed to expand to Egypt and Mauritius, but that's it. All four are among Africa's wealthier countries. So it makes sense McDonald's found footing there. But they're hardly the only places on the continent with expanding middle classes and populations with disposable income. KFC, a far less wealthy chain than McDonald's, has managed to gain footing in more than 25 African countries. So why is McDonald's in only 4? The answer has 3 components. Number 1, corruption. Back in the 90s, McDonald's tried to enter Tunisia. The company spent 7 years preparing. It did lengthy market research, obtained licenses, established product supply chains, and found a local franchising partner. But eventually, the deal collapsed. It had been blocked by Tunisia's ruling family, the El Materis. They wanted the franchise for themselves. They even warned McDonald's, choose the right partner or face the consequences. McDonald's refused and decided to back out completely. Years pass. But in 2009, there's another opportunity. A US ambassador and his wife have been invited to the home of Nesrine El Materi, daughter of the Tunisian president. Her husband Sakher El Materi is poised to become Tunisia's next ruler. They meet in this impressive beachfront mansion featuring Roman columns, an infinity pool, and a pet tiger called Pasha. They enjoy a lavish banquet, while the country is facing bankruptcy and staggering unemployment. The ambassador has struggled to get press coverage for his embassy's humanitarian projects, and the El Materis agree to help. After all, their family owns some newspapers. In return, they would happily assist McDonald's in entering Tunisia. Maybe they could start at a new port in La Joulette. But it won't come to that. In December 2010, a young street vendor sets himself on fire in an act of protest. In response, people hit the streets, demand change, and eventually a revolution sweeps across the country. Tunisia's president is ousted from power during the Arab Spring. The El Materi family flees into exile. Years of political instability follow, and the economy never truly recovers. To this day, McDonald's hasn't opened a single restaurant there. But in many cases, the absence of McDonald's in African countries isn't explained by corruption or political instability. Instead, it comes down to something rather unexpected. 2. Crispy on the outside, soft on the inside. Whether you eat a burger in Germany, Japan, or the US, McDonald's wants their product to be the same experience wherever you order it. This reliability is a core aspect of the brand. That's why McDonald's relies on strict food safety standards and protocols. These cover everything from food sourcing, packaging, and distribution all the way to how restaurants are run. There are hygiene rules in every step of production. Ingredients have exact specifications, and recipes are standardized down to the finest measurements. And potatoes are at the heart of one of their most important products. This is a russet Burbank. It's McDonald's favorite potato for its fries. The fast food giant also relies on varieties such as Shepherdie, Innovator, and Zorba. These potatoes are specifically approved for use and are mainly grown in the US, Canada, and Europe. McDonald's is very specific about how they're to be cultivated. Farmers in the supply chain have to follow strict rules to make sure the quality stays consistent. Because after all, the fries are supposed to taste the same everywhere. Their standards define desired potato length and thickness. The fries need to be crispy and golden on the outside and fluffy on the inside. McDonald's tries to source their potatoes locally. In Germany, for example, most potatoes come from German farms with additional supplies from neighboring countries. But in Africa, generally speaking, the exact potato varieties McDonald's prefers are not cultivated at scale. So it might have to ship potatoes over long distances. And that can pose a whole series of risks. It's 2022 in Kenya. KFC is very popular here. Their potatoes are shipped in from Egypt, but it's COVID and container ships get stuck. And so the chain runs out of fries.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, an American fast food restaurant chain, announced that it's run out of potatoes, fries.
But KFC refuses to use local potatoes to bridge the gap. And that gets people very upset.
According to KFC, these potatoes, these beautiful African potatoes, these beautiful Kenyan potatoes are not considered as potatoes to KFC.
Potatoes are the second most popular staple in Kenya after maize. The country is the 5th largest potato producer in Africa.
I don't get it. What happened to the potatoes that they are growing in Kenya? They are not good enough for the Kenyan people to eat your...
But the issue isn't really the quality of Kenyan potatoes. Just like McDonald's, KFC relies on a specific potato type that turns crispy on the outside and stays soft on the inside when fried. The potato grown by most Kenyan farmers is called shengi, and it doesn't meet these strict requirements. A little off topic, but Burger King actually benefited from KFC's misery by running an ad campaign that mocked its rivals' woes. Now, we don't know if McDonald's executives are aware of the Kenya KFC fry crisis of 2022, but chances are they studied it closely and drew their own conclusions. And McDonald's supply chain challenges in Africa go beyond potatoes. They have all to do with the equator. To understand what we mean by that, let's take a look at Nigeria. The country has a population of more than 230 million people and is one of the largest economies on the continent. On paper, it looks exactly like the kind of market a global fast food giant would want to enter. And in fact, Nigeria has KFC, Domino's, and Burger King. But once again, McDonald's is missing. Likely because while it's economically developed, it's also the ultimate end boss for a reliable cold chain. A cold chain is basically a temperature-controlled supply chain. Its task is to keep products cool the whole time while they're being stored and transported. And depending on the ingredient, the cold chain has to remain uninterrupted to guarantee McDonald's quality and food safety standards. Products like meat have to stay within strict temperature ranges the entire time. To make that possible, temperatures inside trucks and storage facilities are continuously monitored, and logistics teams receive real-time updates if something goes wrong. But in Nigeria, everything can go wrong all the time. In the major city Lagos, power cuts are frequent. At the same time, the average temperature is around 34 degrees Celsius. So when power goes out, frozen burger patties thaw within just a few hours. That can quickly become a health risk. Nigeria is also enormous, nearly twice the size of Spain. Transporting products can involve crossing all kinds of terrain: rivers, dense forests, and sometimes even savannas. Droughts and floods make transport even more difficult. Many roads are in poor condition and full of potholes. All of this makes it incredibly hard to stay within certain transportation timeframes and guarantee ingredients stay cold. Still, it's likely just a matter of time before McDonald's overcomes these hurdles and conquers Nigeria. The country has already transformed rapidly in recent years, its growth potential is enormous, and the Big M shan't miss out. But for now, instead of chasing the big gold, as one executive put it, McDonald's may target smaller countries first, where supply chains are more easily secured. But, you might wonder, if the whole supply chain is so difficult, Africa being this whole final fast food frontier, etc., why did KFC manage to establish itself all across Africa then? Excellent question. 3. Crispy chicken. First, KFC has adapted its menu in African countries to local tastes. For example, KFC Ghana serves jollof rice, a popular West African rice dish cooked in a tomato sauce. But likely the reason for KFC's success is mostly the focus on chicken. In 2024, chicken was the most consumed meat in Africa. Compared to beef, it's cheaper and more accessible. Chicken also has shorter production cycles, higher feed efficiency, and lower overall production costs. KFC benefits from all that. And in Africa, the overwhelming majority of its chicken is locally sourced. That means shorter supply lines, fewer imports, and less costs. McDonald's is aware of these advantages. As beef prices rise in the US, for example, the chain is increasingly moving toward chicken-based options as well. But we were unable to find out to which degree a chicken-heavy menu might be part of McDonald's expansion plans into more African countries. It would make sense. We've established that McDonald's is historically brilliant at globalization. And perhaps it's that globalization that makes McDonald's feel so inevitable. It's not for nothing that its hero item is used as a type of economic index. And this inevitability ties into this vague feeling that as places grow richer, they converge towards the same set of brands and aesthetics, just slightly tweaked to local taste. Like, of course there's a McDonald's in Venice, just as there will be matcha lattes and mayonnaise-leaning sushi. For now, it feels like much of Africa is proof that even one of the world's most powerful brands can't just expand everywhere. But for how long? Because one thing is clear. McDonald's will keep trying. And as Hemingway put it, change happens slowly and then all at once. Like it or not.